What is going on? This is episode 218 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2, Nightcrawler. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Guys, Hate's not here because, unfortunately, he had to put his dog to sleep. So, if you want to send him some love via Twitter, it's at Hate0 with an X. That would be awesome. He's also in the Discord, so, yeah. He's kind of going through it right now, so he could use a little love. It'd be great if the community could kind of rally around him. I'd appreciate it. The music you're hearing is from On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. Remember, this is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, and if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, my book from Audible, go to n64josh.com/audible. There you'll find another castle right there, ready for you to listen to. The gaming chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Go to n64josh.com/OP Seat. Automatically save $10 at checkout. And if you'd like to pick up my book as a paperback, go to n64josh.com/another castle. With that, we're going to jump to the announcements.
Hey, listen!
All right, guys. Well, due to, I guess, just the lack of interest, the Mario project's going to be on hold. So I may revisit it later once, the community grows. But as of right now, there were so few people interested in doing it that we're just going to put it on hold. The Super Mario Maker podcast going strong. Animal Crossing podcast also going strong. If you guys are enjoying those, they could use some positive reviews. That'd be great. And lastly, guys, for my calendar and to connect with me via Twitter, Instagram, everything, I'm putting together a page. It's not up yet, but it will be up soon. n64josh.com/connect. And I'm just going to put everything there so that I don't have to go through this list every single time. If you want to connect with me, you want all the links, n64josh.com/connect. Let's move on over into what we've been playing. All right, so we've both had a little bit of hands-on time with Killer Queen Black. Crawler's been playing the beta, which is available on PC and I believe Mac. I think you can play it on both right now.
I was talking to somebody on the beta yesterday, and I think he said, yes, you could play on Mac.
Yeah, there you go. So, obviously not on Switch yet, but coming soon. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's really fun. The music is really good. The gameplay is tight. It's right now it's kind of takes a little while for matchmaking, but I think that's just the amount of people that I wasn't aware of this until I was listening to it wasn't even your individual breakout. I watched the breakout just a little bit before we got on here, but I think in one of your short little podcasts last week you were talking about how it was available in beta, which I didn't even realize. And I think this is even the second beta, because I think they did original one on Steam and this one is run through the Discord game store.
Got it.
So it's simple to sign up, guys. If you got a computer that it's pretty rudimentary specifications, I think, on your computer to run it. But you just go to their website and then you join their Discord, and then you click and download it. So it's right there. And then they're mainly, I think they wanted to do Discord right now because they want to work on Discord integration. So you can jump into a room and you can see the overlay and all that kind of stuff, so you can see who's talking. So, but it's really simple and it's lots of fun. It's best of 5. So first to 3 wins, and I've seen all 3 victory possibilities. So the economic, military, and then the best one is snail. The best one is it's hands down.
When you eat another worker, that is the best thing.
Well, yeah. If you're a worker, don't go near that snail if somebody else is riding it, because you're dead and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, good times for sure. The other game that launched, Cadence of Hyrule. Now I gotta say, I really didn't have a lot of expectations going into this game. I've been seeing a lot of tweets about it. People really, really loving it. I've even seen it on some people's best of Zelda games list all of a sudden. I was a little bit shocked by that. But so far, and I've had very little time with it. Guys, since I've been back, it's been family time, Father's Day, all that stuff. I haven't played much, but I did want to kind of dip my toe in the water with it. And I like it. I like the way it feels. I like it's simple. It's very simple. So I'm digging it. What do you think so far?
So I picked it up on launch night on last Thursday or whatever, and I streamed it for like an hour and a half or something like that. And it's fun. You gotta make sure you go through calibration. They want to make sure you are seeing the flash of light on your screen and the beat of the sound, and they want to calibrate the game so that you can stay on beat, because that's the most not the most important thing, but a pretty important part of this game is you get bonuses and I think better items and stuff if the higher you can go keeping the beat up. And yeah, it's fun. I chose to start as Zelda just to mix it up a little bit, because you don't get to play as her very often in these kind of games. So that's who I'm playing as right now, and I've explored. The map doesn't seem huge, but I think there's maybe some underground stuff that is yet to be discovered for me. I've seen people posting stuff that they've beaten it already. I think I haven't looked at leaderboards personally, but I think I did see something on somebody's YouTube page or something like that. Like the record as of, I don't know what day it was like 30 minutes beating the whole game.
Wow.
So
it's wild. Yeah. That's wild. So yeah, pretty fun. Pretty and just interesting. I love seeing Nintendo offer their IP to other companies. Like, let's keep that going, you know?
And Zelda music is always great to hear.
Yeah, exactly. That is absolutely the truth. The I would love to see like a let somebody play with some Metroid. You know, we've seen some Star Fox, maybe some F-Zero. Like, we'll see. Plumber wants to know if Min Min winning the Final Party Crash will make NPC news. So
there, it just did.
There you go. It did. So one other thing, just kind of a quick little side note. Guys, I took my Pro Controller apart, the Switch Pro Controller, and I added tape to the sensors of the D-pad so that you cover up half the sensor on the inside. It works beautifully. Like, I am loving it. So, if you guys are unaware, I have been a crash test dummy for the last month or so, trying out different controllers, 8-bit Do adapters, all the multiple ways that we're going to be able to play Mario Maker with the best D-pad possible. And if you have a Pro Controller and it's past its warranty, get yourself a 000 screwdriver. It took me 10 minutes. Is all to get the mod done. Just a little bit of Scotch tape, just kind of tear it up and stick it down, and you're good to go. Just make sure you don't forget to put any screws back in. Right? I got all excited. I'm like, oh, let's throw this thing back together, because I've been working with GameCube controllers a lot, taking them apart, things like that. And there's like
only 4 on the GameCube.
There's only so many, and then there's not really any on the inside. I don't think there's a couple if you do the triggers, I believe, but there's quite a few. Like, I don't know, there's probably a total of like 10 or 12 screws. So
holding the board in there.
Yeah, you got a couple different ones holding the board in different place, and so you just want to make sure that you put it back together right. Snap some pictures with your phone before you take the screws out if you're worried about it. That's an easy way to make sure you get them all back in place. So relatively easy to do. I'm going to try to have a post up on n64josh.com before the game releases, and a video as well. And this is not Nintendo related necessarily. It kind of is. If you guys are interested in the 1-Up arcade machines, I have videos up on my YouTube channel right now showcasing Star Wars, the arcade game, the Atari Star Wars games, which I loved. And I know some people are probably like, meh on them. I could totally get that. The nostalgia is real for me with that when it comes to that. And then the other one is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, and Turtles in Time, both on one machine. It's 3/4 size. Man, oh man.
With 4 joysticks, yep. And it looks awesome.
Yes. So there may be more news about that coming soon. You also have an X-Men game that has a number of different X-Men titles on it, and including the Punisher, which is
Children of the Atom, Punisher.
Yeah. So Punisher's one I remember playing all the way through in the arcade when I was a kid. So yeah. What I did ask him, like, hey, does it have the Avengers on there? It did not, because that's another one I used to play all the way through. Like I could play through that with like 1/4, so that was kind of fun. So anyway, let's move on over to the news. So I'll just be like honest with you guys right now, I've done so many different podcasts and different things throughout the week that like I don't even totally remember everything that's gone out on this show. So if there's some stuff that's repeated, please forgive me. Like last week was a complete blur. And I know I put some stuff on YouTube, some stuff went up on here. So, you know, just bear with us if some of this is old news. If you've heard me talk about some of it on the Super Mario Maker podcast or the Animal Crossing podcast, like there's going to be a little bit of crossover here. So Super Mario Maker 2 multiplayer with friends after an update. Like Nintendo listened and took action right away. Were you surprised? This was like one of the first things they announced. Here's what's funny: when they announced it, I've watched it a couple of times. I went back and watched it a couple of times, and the lady that he's talking to is so into her game, trying to get like the coins and everything. He's like multiplayer with friends, and she's like, oh, that's exciting news. Like, it's so awesome.
She's not even playing a level. She's playing like the start screen.
Right, but she is zoned into it. Like, I love it. I love that she was so into it. I mean, I think it's cool, but it was pretty funny. Like, it was like, this is pretty big news. And she was like, oh, cool. So, you know, like, it was great.
So what I'm wondering is, I know that Nintendo's listening, but I wonder if some retailers made some phone calls as well. Not that a ton of people probably canceled, but I bet it was maybe a little noticeable.
I saw some. I saw a handful. Like the number was larger than I expected. I didn't think it would be a deal breaker for as many people as it was. Some different shows I listened to, they were like, yeah, it was me and like 3 of my buddies were planning on getting it. As soon as we found out that Friends multiplayer was gone, they all canceled the pre-order. I was like, okay.
And I mean, that's kind of what was a death sentence for Mario Party as well. Like, people love that game. And there's nothing wrong with Mario Party as a game, but then you add what has become expected of games in 2019, 2018 when that game launched. But like, you want to play with not everybody's able to gather on a rooftop like Hate says and bust out the Joy-Cons and play. So you gotta they have an online structure. Just it's not like it's a small indie dev that maybe that infrastructure is hard to build into your game. And they even have online mini games. So just
correct.
Let us play a game. So it's good that they listened and they're taking action. Hopefully it's close to day one, if not on day one, that they get this update out. And we can start playing with each other right away.
Yeah, we're less than 2 weeks out. I'm so excited. Like so
yeah,
excited.
This is a gauntlet starting this Friday of good games coming out.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Rip the wallet. Rip it. just
not as bad as September. September's really bad.
Yeah, that's brutal too. It's crazy. Guys, so announced right before the show went up, Dr. Mario World launches on 7/10. You can pre-register today. There is a I don't know, sign up or something. I'm not exactly sure exactly. I didn't check it out.
I clicked on it and I'm on Apple, so it just took me straight to the App Store, and it said it had the blue Get button with in-app purchases labeled on it, and so you just click it, and then you go through the quote-unquote purchase process where you just are authorizing Apple to put that on your account, and then it's just there. So, and then I clicked on the link again because I didn't see, it doesn't like load any kind of icon or anything like that. So it's just there, and I'm assuming it'll show up on the 10th of July. And because I tried to click it again, and it said it's already been added to your account. So that's the equivalent of pre-registering, at least on Apple devices. I don't know what it would be on Google Play, but something similar, I'm assuming.
So this is a match 3 puzzle game. I mean, that's been Mario or Dr. Mario for forever, but it's a little bit different. It's not Mario chucking the pills down and they're falling like Tetris. You're actually doing more with like moving the pills with your finger, turning them, trying to. It's a little bit different.
It's almost Brick Breaker style because it starts from the bottom.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's match 3 puzzle game, 5 worlds to start, which you're going to make your way through worlds. You have to buy diamonds to continue your games if like you only have so much time, right?
Or wait a half hour.
and then you can also buy power-ups or buy continues, that kind of stuff. So it's fun. I mean, right out E3 ends, Nintendo's like, oh, hey, by the way, Monday, here's some mobile games, to get you guys going. There are videos like Game Explain. I saw, I don't know if it was their video or what the deal was with that, but they posted
there's a 4-minute trailer that Nintendo put out on that website.
Yeah, so you can catch up with that if you wanted, just to kind of see what it's about. And I mean for me personally, I'm just kind of like, yeah, what I don't
it'll be a time waster. I mean, it's not anything. It's let your time rack up and have multiple hearts to go use. I mean, it's at least it's staying free, I guess, and it doesn't look like it's too predatory with who knows how many stamina hearts you can stack before it just maxes and it won't accumulate anymore. But
right,
everyone went to medical school.
Yeah,
everyone. Right.
Dr. Peach, Dr. Toad, Dr. Luigi's already a thing from the year Luigi, but
Dr. Yoshi and Dr. Bowser. Yoshi's he's getting doctor salary now, so it's more taxes to evade.
Attaboy. Keep it up, Yoshi. You'll be in jail in no time. No time. So this is kind of cool. Luigi's Mansion 3, the producer says the boss battles will be more exciting than Dark Moon. So, that's and I mean, I'm trying to remember. I've played a handful, and I remember some of the bosses were a little bit tricky and things like that. But you could tell from the trailer that and you know what they did? The bosses look similar to Mario Tennis Aces, where the bosses were just kind of epic, and then you just played the same match every single time. It was like, this thing looks awesome, and then it was like, oh, this is still just tennis. You know what I mean? Like,
well, Kamek in that one was super annoying, but that was the stage.
Got it. Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. I'm so excited for Luigi's Mansion 3. Honestly, I think look. We have Animal Crossing. It's getting delayed till 2020. I guess Doug Bowser said due to they don't want to have their employees crunching for it, so they are just delaying the game so that people aren't crunching. I mean, good. Let these people go home to their families. Let these people, we don't. There's plenty to play, right?
And keep Jason Schreier away from writing an article about you.
I met him and the head of the head of Kotaku, or the owner of Kotaku. So they're cool guys. We talked for a bit. But here's the thing that I'm actually okay with. With it being delayed, this means I get to play Pokemon. This means I get to play Luigi's Mansion. This means I get to play Mario Maker for a little bit longer.
Astral Chain.
Yeah, there's so many games.
There's too many. Daemon X Machina is coming out in September. Is chock full because there's Spyro at the beginning, Daemon X Machina in the middle, Link's Awakening at the end.
Right. There's
and
another
then
one.
And 2 weeks before September starts is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. There's just so many games.
Right. Yeah, and here's the thing too. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I loved it. I talked about it on the other shows. You guys can watch the videos I put up on YouTube. I do have a lot of videos up on YouTube and more going out, so I really do suggest subscribing and checking them out, because there's a lot of content being put there. But with Animal Crossing being delayed, it does free up a lot of time to play. And I knew the writing was on the wall for me when I got to E3 and got my badge, and Animal Crossing was not on my lanyard. I was just like, are you serious? Was it just Pokemon and Link's Awakening on the lanyard? And Luigi's Mansion.
Okay.
So, but from 2016, it was all Breath of the Wild. So it was like, you kind of know based on the lanyard what you're going to see. And there was no Animal Crossing. So, but the game looks awesome. All the stuff that they're adding, you're going to be playing that game for hours and hours and hours. So it's cool. It's cool. It's going to be March. One of the things that I'm kind of curious about is this new Switch console. I mean, they were the Wall Street, I believe it was Wall Street Journal again, was like, hey, we're talking to distributors and there's 2 models. This rumor keeps keeps bubbling up. Now, I did a little bit of research because I was like, okay, wait a minute. My initial thought was there's definitely systems coming because we saw 0 special editions during E3, right? Nothing. Guess what? We didn't see any last year. I went back and watched the whole thing. It wasn't until those other directs that they showed the
was it the next direct that showed the?
Yes, that showed the Smash.
The Eevee one was just like, wasn't that wasn't even in a direct? I think that was that just tweeted out?
It may have been, yeah. So the Smash one was in a direct, but none of them were E3. So initially I was thinking, oh, they showed it at E3. That's pretty much a good. Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. They kind of they will. If there's new hardware launching, it's probably going to be. The next direct that we get will probably have something about it, and we'll probably have the chance to pre-order. Like, I can't imagine them not doing a Luigi's Mansion Switch, a Link's Awakening Switch, a Pokemon Switch, right? I just can't imagine. After last year, we got Diablo Switch, we got Fortnite Switch. I mean, there was just there was so much. So, chat's asking when would we assume the next direct is, July or August? I would guess August would be my guess.
Yeah, before September.
That would be my guess. So, but yeah, so I'm bummed that Animal Crossing is delayed, but at the same time, we have so much to play. And Animal Crossing is going to cast a big shadow for me on what I'm going to be doing. So the little bit of news with the game that kind of has people a little bit up in arms is that there's no cloud saves. So it's funny. I told my wife, I said, hey, there's no cloud saves. And she was like, what? I said, your DS didn't have cloud saves either. She's like, oh, okay.
I was just saying, people got upset with Let's Go not having cloud saves, and you get over it, I guess. I mean, if Splatoon, if your Switch dies, you lose Splatoon as well. So I mean, it's they just need to come up with a better architecture for. I mean, maybe that's server space on their side, which is expensive, but something to save their side so you can have your side. I don't know. I'm not a computer scientist, I guess, but. And
Cayman saying in chat, I just don't like the reasoning, and they're trying to keep people from time traveling. Now, like, the thing is, I truly believe with Animal Crossing, if you look at the size of the map, there's a lot. This game is going to be massive. And I have a feeling they're really going to try to surprise us with things as days go by. And so this may be part of the reason to keep people from time. They really want to discourage it. They would put like these ugly weeds in your town if you time traveled. Like, there was a lot of stuff that they try to discourage people from doing it. So I don't love it. If I invest 600 hours, some people have like over 1,000 hours in Animal Crossing, and you lose your save, like, that's kind of devastating. I mean, that is pretty devastating. So hopefully it's something they address. Putting in chat saying Sony, Microsoft, and Steam have cloud saves, and it works. So there's got to be something. Spare Change is saying Rossetti lost his job. That is also true. So Delmonic saying, what if AC Grandma lost her 4K hour save? Right? I mean, that's a ton of hours. That's a ton of hours. So, hopefully hopefully they can fix this, right? Especially since this is something they don't just offer as part of being a Switch owner. Like, you pay for it with a Nintendo Switch Online. So, it just seems to me that they need to maybe hash things out a little bit better, rework it. But, at the end of the day, I'm still stoked to play the game. It's not going to be a deal breaker or anything like that, but it would be pretty traumatic to lose a lot of hours, because that's a game. I mean, look, I still play New Leaf, right? Like 6-year-old game or whatever it is now, and I have over 300 hours into it, so it would be a bummer, but it is what it is. Nothing we can really do about it. With
chat's talking about how Tom Nook's now a nice guy. Cryptic doesn't believe it, but Delmonic's saying he's a nice guy because he doesn't charge you interest now. But he's dropping you off and abandoning you on a desolate island. So I don't know how much of a nice guy he is.
Look, after 6 years of being mayor without a day off, I think that's I think that's what you want. You know, I said it on the Animal Crossing podcast, but I'm hoping I can grow a beard like Castaway and just not do anything but lay around my island and yell at my volleyball. Like, that's really all I want to do. So, Cryptic says Animal Crossing Hunger Games.
8 people enter, one emerges.
Exactly. So, all right, with that, let's jump on over to just our talking points. We're going to hit some E3 highlights.
Here we go!
All right, so I did a Q&A earlier with people from the chat, like before I started my stream. That'll be up on YouTube if you guys want to check that out. I told Crawler, I said, hey, ask me some questions during this thing. Like, I kind of did the highlights with Caitlin last Thursday live on the show floor, which was so awesome to like record right there. I tried my best, guys, to get the audio quality better, but it was just the way it is with all the noise, all the background noise, plus the shotgun mic. Like, I know I am in the middle of researching what I'm going to have to do for next year to make sure that like audio quality is top notch and that I'm going to be able to just be able to create more content while I'm there, because I was so busy I couldn't even like I still probably have half a dozen or more videos to upload for you guys, and I'm like trying to get them up before it becomes too late and they're irrelevant, you know. But some of them is interviews with developers about games that are coming out, like Keen and Tiny Metal. I think it's called Full Metal Rumble. There's another company that's making kind of like limited run games that is doing, except they're going to retailer. They're making more physical games, right? So,
and limited run games got Star Wars licenses. They're going to do classic game. I don't know how many are coming to the Switch, but
yeah,
that's going to be rip wallets with limited runs cost, but.
No,
that's gonna be.
You know, I don't know that I talked about it much on any of the shows, but I did spend some time with Zen Studios. They actually gave me slippers. I have Zen Studios.
And they're the pinball guys, right?
They're not only pinball, but I believe the other game is called Castle Storm, which is on sale right now. And speaking of sales, guys, the sales are coming to an end, I believe the 18th. So you got till tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's some good deals, really good deals.
Yeah, really good deals. So make sure you're checking that out. But yeah, so they gave me slippers. But yeah, they have, I believe it's called Castle Storm. I hope I'm getting that right. I don't have it in front of me. That is, actually, it looks pretty fun. It's, you're trying to take out another castle, and you can shoot. You got stuff coming at you. You've got troops on the ground. You've got like catapults and things like that. So there's kind of some interesting gameplay going on, and overall, it looked pretty fun. It looked pretty fun. There's like fog of war. You got to make your way. Then you might do a fight sequence kind of thing. It's not like turn-based. Like,
is it an RTS kind of?
It is, but it then also is mixed with like a side-scrolling brawler.
Okay.
Kind of.
And you talking about Castle's, what is it? Castle Siege?
I think it's called Castle Storm, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Did you see?
Let me look it up.
Now I'm thinking about it. Did you see Castle Crashers at all on the floor?
No, nothing about it.
So that's just been that's kind of baffling, because has that been confirmed for 2019? Because how long ago was that little?
That was a ways.
Was that a tweet or just a video that they put out?
Well, they put out those tweets, but then I thought we saw it in an indie direct.
We saw something small. I don't know if it was through Nintendo or if it was through their own YouTube page or something like that. But yeah, because I have it on Xbox, but I'm more eager to get it on my Switch and play it again with the community that's more reinvigorated with it.
So to give you an idea, it is Castle Storm. It's a 9 out of 10 on Steam, and it's a 77% Metacritic right now. And the second one is coming to the Switch. And then I did get to see Star Wars in action, Star Wars Pinball. And I got to tell you, like, I love that game. I have it on my iPad. I have it on my iPhone. But I've only unlocked I've only paid for a couple of extra boards. This has a ton of stuff unlocked right from the get-go.
Because it's like it's a $30 Switch game, right? And then is it going to have all the boards?
I believe it has. If I remember correctly, the unfortunate thing is I actually lost my footage from that interview, so I can't refer back to it. But I believe that it has everything unlocked. But then there's also going to be new stuff coming when there'll probably be DLC for it when the new boards drop. Now, sometimes they'll be like, hey, there's a new movie. Here's one free board. And then here's more you can buy. But I believe this one comes with everything that's already been out. Like, because when they were showing it, nothing was grayed out. Now,
that could just be the E3 demo.
It could be their demo, but I think that's what they told me. So, a little bit of searching around, we might be able to find something. But I think that is the case. So
they're coming physical, aren't they?
That is physical. Yep, in September.
Yeah.
Also.
Hey, at least it's a pinball game. It's easy enough to pick up, put down, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I told him, I said, hey, you guys are actually, you guys are system movers in my house or in my family. My uncle's father-in-law bought a Switch just to play Zen Pinball.
And so that version of Zen Pinball that's out, I might have to invest in a flip grip. Are they compatible with flip grip?
Oh, speaking of, they had the flip grip and they had the dev kit Joy-Cons that were black. I was like, what's your PayPal? Just tell me your PayPal. Like, I want them so bad. So are
they matte black? Is that what they are?
Yes, dude, they were just gorgeous. So I got to give a quick shout out to Alka-Seltzer-Tini. Welcome to the show. So glad to have you. So any Nintendo themed boards for the Switch, as far as Zen Pinball, like right now you can go and play Zen Pinball for free. There's a bunch of stuff there. I think you can get like a Bethesda pack, you can get Aliens, or like a Universal pack, which has like Jaws and Aliens and things like that. So there's some cool stuff available. There's also some just original stuff that they do. All the boards are pretty fun. And if you're like a purist when it comes to pinball, you can just play standard pinball. But then if you like to kind of mix things up and use some power-ups and things like that, that's also an option. So they're actually pretty fun games. So I do recommend checking them out. But so a couple of things. I have to share a story with you guys. So think of it a question for me after this. But a lot of you guys probably saw the little Link figurine that was a keychain. Okay. So I talked about this on the last show. I was like super bummed that I couldn't get this keychain. And so about 10 minutes before the show ended, I was talking with one of the brand ambassadors that was there. Okay. And she's actually going to come. So both of these gals are going to come on the show at some point. The first one, we're sitting there talking. And she's like, oh, I've done this for 5 years. I've dressed up as Mario, like not in a cosplay, like she donned the Mario costume. Like if you guys have seen my Instagram, I have a picture of me with Mario and I'm super overweight. So go look at it if you want to get a good laugh.
Think Mickey Mouse, but dressed like Mario.
Yeah, exactly. So I have no idea who this person is in this suit, but I'm like, this is kind of fun. I'll take a picture with Mario, right? So talked to her. She's like, oh, I've been doing this for 5 years. I said, oh, like at the Nintendo World Championships, and she looked at me kind of funny, like, how'd you know that? Like a little bit creeped out, right? So she said she was from the Pacific Northwest. So I was like, oh, so did you do the Best Buy event for the Nintendo World Championship, just like the invitational or the qualifiers? And she was like, yeah, I did. I said, oh, then I actually have a picture with you on my phone. She was like, no, you don't. And I showed her. She's like, oh my gosh. She goes, I remember them handing me a Switch and trying to play it. I said, oh, I have a picture of that too. She's like, oh my gosh. So super crazy. I mean, we're down in LA, like kind of weird. She was just like, what? So we took another picture together, and she's going to actually come on the show and talk about just these different events and stuff that she's done. So, pretty cool. But then I went back over and talked to Ashley, who, if you guys have seen my Marvel Ultimate Alliance video, she walked me through how to play the game, and just really, I mean, she did an amazing job at walking me through the game. And so I was like, hey, you're doing so well. Can I just set up my camera and record you? And she was like, yeah, sure, I'm down. And I mean, she knew her stuff, right? This wasn't like, she really knew her stuff. And so about 10 minutes before the show ended, I was like, I wanted to say, hey, just wanted to reconnect with her. We follow each other on Twitter, that kind of stuff. She's going to come onto the show. She does D&D Zelda themed D&D, which I thought was cool. But she also streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/bananaboat. So go show her some love if you guys want to. That would be awesome. Make sure to let her know that I sent you. Well, I said, hey, do you have a supervisor here? And she was like, yeah, right over there with the green stripe on his arm. And so I was like, hey, boss, you're like the man in charge or whatever, you know? And I think he said something like, well, I'm taller than you. And he was like 6'14" or something. I mean, he was really tall. And so I said, hey, I just want to let you know that Ashley did an amazing job walking me through Marvel, and everybody that I've talked to has just been top notch. And I just wanted to give you that heads up. Right. And he goes, man, I appreciate the feedback. And he reaches into his pocket and hands me the Link keychain, and I about lose my mind because this is impossible. So I walked back over to the gal that I've been bugging her, right? The gal that was in the Mario costume. I was like, hey, how can you get me a keychain? You know, like how you gonna get me those pins? Give me the flashlight, like something. And she's like, there's no way. She goes, I don't even have it. They don't give it to any of the people there until after the show. They give them a little goodie bag, right? And so I walk back over to her and I show her the Link wrapped up in my hand, and she's like, how did you get that? I think she wondered if I mugged somebody or something. I was like, look, all I did was say that Ashley did a good job and that you guys were rocking and rolling, and you're super. She goes, I pretty much guarantee you not a single person in here has been given that keychain that didn't play the game, unless, you know, maybe they did some meetings behind closed doors or something like that. She's like, so pretty much it is your lucky day. And I was so like, it's sitting on my shelf right now. Like, I really wanted that thing so bad, and I had no clue he was gonna hook me up. And it turns out they also threw Ashley a little bone too. They gave her a little bonus just for doing such a good job. So I was like, well, that's awesome. That's super cool. So there's just a couple of highlights, you know, fun things. I did get a picture. I talked about it last show with Charles Martinet and Bill Trinan, and so I mean, just crazy fun. Crazy fun. So you got any questions for me? Chat, if you guys got any questions too, hit me up.
Yeah, so I know you didn't get to play a lot of the first party Nintendo stuff that you wanted to. Correct. But of the games that you had hands-on time with, what was your favorite game at the show that you actually got to play?
So I'm gonna say Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, was my favorite game. There is a game that I had high hopes for. I played the other games I really enjoyed, and I feel like they really did a great job with this game. You know, some people are a little meh on it because it's kind of a button masher, right? But for me, I love old school beat 'em ups, Final Fight, Turtles in Time, things like that. I mean, you just play through levels and beat stuff up, and I talked about it in the last show, I believe. Again, guys, forgive me because it's just so much stuff. But like the thing that impressed me the most is that you have team stats, which I know I talked about, and then the other thing that I thought was great is that and what do they call it? They call it like synergy moves. So like when Wolverine, if you hold R or L when you're in battle, it brings up a mini menu of just your buttons of like X, Y, and A. And depending on how leveled up you are, because that's a factor also. As you level up, you unlock more stuff like that. So as Wolverine, when I hit my synergy move, or when I hit my special, Thor would hit me with lightning before I would do that move. And so it would add extra, you know, do a little extra damage. And so there's other people like that. Well, then the ults are also really cool. Like Venom turns into this giant, like killer whale shark symbiote thing that like just comes up from the floor and just eats everything around it. You know?
I couldn't tell what it was in your video, but yeah, it just looked like a black mass just closing in on the game, like the whole gameplay screen.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that game was fun. Like, it was really fun, and I'm excited to get into it further, right? Because I don't, you know, how long is it? How, like, how does the leveling system work, all that kind of stuff. There were a few things like how do you unlock characters she wasn't allowed to tell me, so there's still some surprises there, but I really liked what I was playing, and it felt better to me than the other games. The other games was like, if I'm playing Wolverine, it was just a reskin of Thor, right? Like there wasn't like a big difference between each character. Whereas like Thor, he's throwing his hammer, right? Wolverine is up close and brawling, where Thor is throwing his hammer, he's shooting lightning out of his hands, right? And so I really liked it. The other game that I think is kind of a standout is Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. Like Sega was there. They were there in full force. I don't know if you guys saw the video I posted on Twitter, but I was playing the giant Sega Genesis controller, and Dane from Beyond the Metagame podcast was like, "I'm telling Mario." And so that was super cool. They had a huge display on a rock climbing wall for Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. You could see on the big screen, like when you walked in, you weren't missing Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. And so archery, karate, surfing, skateboarding, like little Tony Hawk going on there, right? All these mini games. Surfing was a blast. It was so much fun. And so I'm really excited to jump into these. And the thing that intrigued me the most, and I made sure to I had to pause the video a few times because I wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing things, is there's like an 8-bit, 16-bit version of...
Yeah, that was in the Direct.
Yes.
It was like a flash, like a 2-second flash, like not very much, but it was Robotnik, and they were doing hurdles.
It was
like
8-bit Mario, 8-bit Peach, then 16-bit Sonic, and I believe a 16-bit Robotnik. And so I was just like, that is super cool. Like, I love this kind of stuff, right? I love it when they do that throwback kind of stuff. So that was another kind of standout game for me. Of course, I played Killer Queen Black. I loved it. A little bit of hands-on, like, other than that, like, I really didn't play any games. Like, I just didn't. I talked to Ash from Game Explain for a while, and he was able to he played Link's Awakening enough that he was actually able to make it all the way through to the boss of the demo. Like, he completed the entire demo, and he's just like, I believe he said it was like his that was like his game of E3, don't quote me. I don't remember for sure. It was just chatting after the fact, but he did kind of go on and on about how much he liked it and how he was able to complete the whole thing under the time limit. And so that was one I wish I could have played. Right. I wish I could have played. They only had 24 stations, so that was like usually the longest line to get into. And I think Luigi's Mansion and Pokemon both had 48. So, and Luigi's Mansion had this really crazy, they had a
whole themed, like, got a flashlight or something like that to go through it, right?
You got a flashlight, and there was I guess there was some crazy holograms and stuff on the inside. Like, I think you had to shine your
flashlight at a ghost, right? I think from what I heard on either different YouTube videos or podcasts, like, the ghost would interact with you. Like,
that's cool.
So I think they did have like holograms and actors or something somewhere to do stuff. So
yeah, that's super cool.
It kind of makes me want to. You and I were talking a little bit. It makes me want to talk my wife into letting me come over to PAX and go see, because it should be the same booth, right?
It really should be. So that's, you guys. I'm planning on I will have a few meetings, I'm sure, at PAX. Like, I'm working on getting my media badge for that. We'll see if it happens. It's harder to get in there than it is with.
Yeah, I was looking at like they want 50,000 and.
Yeah, it's a lot. Crazy. So, but we're gonna still try, and if not, I know how to get in. So, and I may even have connections now. Who knows? So
there you go.
That might end up being the case, but. So, Patrick Murphy says, "Are the rumors true about a paid Bethesda audience?" No. I mean, not that I never got any money. They had been drinking for 2 hours prior. It was open bar.
So they were paid.
So a lot of people were really excited. And even as I sat there, I was surprised at how excited people were getting over certain things. But at the same time, I think people were just kind of being courteous too, which, I mean, I'm okay with that. Right. Like, there's still people behind these games being made that, there's not the corporate decisions and whatnot still don't take away from the fact that of course I wouldn't admit that I was paid. I would admit it because that's shady stuff. So no, I did not receive any income, and I did I was not compensated to applaud, whatsoever.
But I mean, Bethesda has goodwill. They had some missteps this last year, but I mean, people still love that studio and the games they put out, and I think people are still looking forward to Doom Eternal, and they've been good supporters of the Switch, and they have lots of things in the fire. I mean, we're gonna see they got stuff coming out here in the next couple of years. It'll be good.
The thing too, I just saw a headline that Bethesda has more in the works that we may not even know about yet. So, I did play Wolfenstein Youngblood. That was after the show. This was stuff that happened after the show, after last Thursday's show. So I played Youngblood, played like Wolfenstein. You got 30 frames a second. Textures are a little lower, of course. I also played Blades. And Blades is going to be one of those games that, like, for free, it's actually not that bad. Like, I think some people are going to really get into Blades because there's some collecting going on. It's a linear path, but you're fighting with different creatures, and the way you fight is it's kind of cool. Like,
because you can do touchscreen, right?
You can, but you don't need to.
You don't need to. I think they did something with Joy-Con motion, didn't they?
Yep, you could do that as well if you wanted to. I just played. They had them set up handheld, so that's how I played it. And and I'm not sure if I talked about it on here or not, but I did play Dauntless as well on the Switch, and it seemed to be running pretty good.
And that's gonna have. I think that's the first game that's like launching with full crossplay: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch, I believe.
They were talking to me about some stuff, but I didn't record any of that. So, and Cryptic's saying too, like if you play the mobile version of Blades, it transfers to the Switch, and that's totally true. So if you wanted to check that game out now and then kind of be leveled up and working your way through already, you can.
Well, and I think I heard it right that you can do pass off. Like you can play on your phone and then go home and pick up your Switch, and it talks to the internet and it's all right there. So you can go back and forth continuously.
Oh, that's cool. I hadn't heard that, but yeah, definitely could be the case. So, yeah. So, I think that's gonna do it. Should we wrap this thing up?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Crawler, where can people find you?
You guys can find me hanging out in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Also hanging out on Twitch and Twitter, Nightcrawler724. I am getting close. I'm ready for the final push in Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
So I am going to probably be doing a stream sometime this week. I have a copy of the game to give out in stream, so look for that. Josh has let me post in Discord, and I'll post on Twitter and stuff as well. So look for that, and come hang out while I die probably repeatedly to Hollow Knight and the King and all sorts of stuff.
There you go, guys. Like I said, head on over to n64josh.com/connect if you want to connect with me. All right, I love to chat on Twitter, Instagram, all the places. So please do connect. I love chatting with you guys. Of course, the Discord, like Crawler said, n64josh.com/Discord. You can come hang out with us there. Facebook too. n64josh.com/Facebook group. That's where you can go for that. But if you want to follow the show, it's at NPowercast. The show notes for this episode will be n64josh.com/NPC218. You can email the show if you have a question, comment, concern, npc@n64josh.com. Remember, if you want to pick up my book from Audible, just head on over to n64josh.com/audible. OPC, the chair I'm sitting in, n64josh.com/OPC automatically saves you $10 at checkout. I do have a Patreon if you want to help support me there and the content that I create. You can head on over to patreon.com/n64josh. And I do have a store full of merch. It's n64josh.com/store. So, man, we are getting, like, I do want to let you guys know, today was the day to remember that I completed Super Mario Maker on expert mode for the first time. It was my 5th attempt. It's pretty epic. I think I had 10 lives left when it was all said and done. And
Super expert, here you come.
Super expert. Oh man. Oh man. Get ready to break some controllers. That'll be what happens with that. So, yeah, guys. Again, that n64josh.com/calendar. That's going to be where all the streams are. Things like that. I've got a lot in the works. Like I got a lot of people to follow up with with E3. So there could be some really exciting things in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. And I think with that, we're gonna put a bow on this thing. So Crawler, thanks again, and guys, make sure to check out his stream so you can win a copy of Hollow Knight. And we'll catch you later, man.
Later.